This week, we see an Audi TT versus a Suzuki Swift. We see Kimi absolutely wipe out every single driver. And in race C, well, I go for a good old Moses maneuver. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gran Turismo weekly race guide here in 2023, week 12, and this one is the blimmin' good week. As you can tell by the thumbnail, with my giant thumbs up. First up, we're at Watkins, Glen, the short circuit, and we're in Group 4 cars, which is unusual for race A to be in the race cars. But here we are, and it's a good little race. What exactly are we doing? Well, we've got 8 laps here at Watkins, Glen Short. It's a rolling start, and we're on the racing hard tyres. Now, as you know, the Audi TT is one of the meta cars now in Group 4. FF cars doing very well, but this circuit in particular, 4th gear, 5th gear, the dominant gears of the Audi TT that work very well. Well, that's what you're in most of the time here, so the Audi TT will beat the meta car. Some other cars can compete a little bit, but hey, try some other ones out if you want. Otherwise, the Audi TT is there for you. Timestamps to check out in the background, but without further ado, let's jump to the race and let's have a look exactly what we're dealing with. Here we are then at the start. Shelty starting in pole. Shelty very quick here. We noticed that in the practice lobby as well. Well, I'd noticed it anyway. Shelty was flying. Anyway, here we go with the official race. Max power in the Suzuki Swift. And behind me, we got Arky's in the Ford Mustang. You check out Arky's YouTube channel if you give it a good old search. Anyway, we're going to head towards turn 1 here. And let's see what we can do here. I mean, all sorts of gears. The wrong gear is the correct answer there. Should really be 4th gear. But even so, you can forget about that. Let's kick off with some racing, because that's why you're here and that's what you're about to witness. As we look to catch up to the Suzuki Swift. Obviously, as you get towards the top end, the box, the brick that is the Suzuki Swift just struggles. It really does struggle. And remember, the Audi TT's 5th gear is just, it is so good, as you see there. As we continue towards the chicane then, we got Dav on the outside, Raging Storm on the inside, a little bit of contact between the two as we go through here. They're all trying to race clean, it's all good as Raging Storm goes around the outside. I'm going to look around the outside of the French driver too. Here we go, round and round and round we go. Dav is there and boom, there we go, P8, happy days indeed. And we have a run on Raging Storm as well. And Raging Storm just missed gears there. Look at this, clean on through. That's P7 and by the end of lap 1, or hopefully anyway. As we continue in to the left-hander then, and we've got a couple more TTs to catch up to as we fast forward here. Going nitrous as we've got the yellow one down the inside of JM Power. A little bit of contact between the two. We leave that corner then. They're still racing here. They're still fighting each other here as Joe goes to the right. JM Power looking everywhere. And we're like, okay, we're going to go down here. Whoopsie daisy. I don't think JM Power saw me there. My nose was there as you saw the contact, but even so, we're back out of that. We continue racing. They're obviously focused very much on the car in front then as we head towards the chicane then. They are side by side as we head into here. I will do a lap guide of this track as well. It's a very good track to race this actually. It's really good fun this. I really do recommend trying out race A this week. I really do. I'm not sure if I'll do beat the meta on this week. I'm a bit unsure, but we'll see how it goes time wise. But there's a lot to do this week. Excuse me, I was choking up there. I'm sorry. It's one of those things early in the morning. You want to cough, you want to sneeze, it's everything. Anyway, down the inside of the yellow TT we go in towards the braking zone. They back out of that. Probably wise in this corner. Very hard to go side by side. It is possible, and I would have given him room there by all means. But even so, we're up into our favourite position. Steve's favourite position as well, of course. To the right we go, and we have JM Power next in, well, I can't tell actually, it's camouflage. Does anyone know what car that is? I can only see rear tail lights. I think it's now just... Oh god, these jokes are terrible. I'm sorry, okay, it's 9 a.m. What do you want from me? To the right we go then. Looking around the outside. Ooh, okay, JM Power just cutting us off there. But still good racing here with JM Power. Let's see what we can do then. They obviously wanted to keep that P5 position. As we're going to look towards the right-hand side. They go towards the right. There's a little bit of movement there. And where they're going to go. So we go towards that left. And back to the right we go. They can't go back to the right. They've already made the move. They're probably like, damn it, blast. Why did Tidge do that? But even so, in we go. And we get it done. Through we go up into P5 then. P4 is next. It's Diddy, who I'm assuming is using the PSVR 2 there. I'm not too sure. But we've unfortunately got a teeny tiny bit wide, which is going to give us a 0.5 second penalty. There we go. So do avoid going wide at turn 1. Anyway, we've asked later on where we've taken the penalty and then caught back up to Diddy here. So we can have a race with the GTR, the old meta car of Group 4. Through we go. And we are in that slipstream. And as I said in the intro, and as I said in this race, 4th gear, 5th gear, the champion gears of the ISTT, especially the 5th gear. 5th gear is just unbelievable in this car. As you can see now, we are catching to Diddy using the slipstream as well. Where's Diddy go? Diddy goes towards that right-hand side. We go towards that left then as we head towards the chicane. Oh, can we do it? Can we do it? Not really. I'm going to back out of this because they are the lead car. And too wide through here never normally works. I've seen a lot of crashes where people try it. And then the odd, 1 time out of 10 when it works. As we go through that right-hander. Alexa waking up behind me for some reason there as we continue on here. And Diddy going towards that left-hand side. Then we are on the right-hand side as we head towards the left-hander. Then in towards the braking zone we go. Are we going to try? Oh, we are going to go side by side. No, not quite. Diddy keeps that position there. Diddy defended this very hard, but very well indeed as we go into the right-hander. Oh, Diddy went really slow through there. Really slow. I'm on the left-hand side here looking to get it done. Just making sure I've got a bit of room here, Diddy, as we continue on through here. Up into P4. We got Timmy in P3, but that's 4 seconds up the road. We're going to struggle to get that. Did he actually let off there at the end? I'm not sure if they thought the race had finished there. Maybe PSVR telling them it's finished when there's 1 extra lap. Even so, we'll take P4. Happy days indeed. What a brilliant and fantastic race. I love this race. I think it's a good little race. You can have some side-by-side action, and you get 3 in an hour. Happy days. Right, how do you do the race then? Well, you head towards turn 1 and you're looking for the 200 feet board there on the left-hand side. I say feet because all the Americans kick off at me when it's not actually meters. So just before the 200 meters here, you're going to brake. Now, it's hard to pick between 3rd and 4th gear. I'd recommend 4th gear, but you're going to get a bit of understeer there. You see, I lift a little bit here and then I have to continue on out. Just be careful when you are accelerating out of that corner. You do not want a penalty. Head towards the chicane then, and what you're looking for is the 300 feet board here. And you really want to aim for the barrier here. You really want to cut the first part of the chicane because it allows you to then turn into the second part so nicely and carry so much speed here. So notice how I cut loads there, and then I can just turn into here. I dropped to 4th gear because I was still playing around with gears at the time in this lobby. I'm then letting off here. I want to keep 100 miles an hour through this corner. I've actually slowed down a bit too much here. I was struggling with the car a little bit in this lobby. On the right side, you got that piece of tarmac here. It's before the marshal box. I'm starting to accelerate at this point. I'm trying to build up my speed. Then you have the marshal box there where you really should be flat out, okay? Accelerate out of here and avoid going too wide again because of the penalty. And the slowdown line there is a bit of a brutal one, to be honest. 0.5 is more like 1.5. Head towards the left-hander then. I'm actually going to use the sign on the left-hand side here, the 200 feet board, when that hits the edge of your screen. You can use the one on the right, of course. It's there. It exists. But when that hits the edge of your screen, you can hit the brakes. As you see, I'm just braking a bit early here. Turn in, and then foot to the floor, and then your car should make it round. Head straight over towards that left-hand side, and you can either use that little black bit on the right-hand side, or use the billboard as a bit of a judgment here. Before the last corner, okay? And again, you want to brake quite sharp here, get the car turned in, and then boot it out rather than trying to carry speed as we go through here and continue on out. Nice lap of Watkins, Glen short. Very easy track to get hold of, and some very good racing action to be had. That's it for A. Let's head to B. Welcome to Spa-Francorchamps then, as I say that terribly, I know. We're at Spa here, and we're in Group 2, so Super GT cars at Spa, which is very unusual in real life, but hey, we can do it in a game. Happy days. What exactly are we doing here? Well, we're racing 4 laps. It's a rolling start, and it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Racing soft tyres, tyres well fuel and tyre wear, and the BOP is on, of course. Now, some people will pick the Mercedes. However, the Super GT cars are the better cars because they're so good through the corners. However, the Mercedes like to go a little bit quick on the straights. But you're going to see that in the race. This race, unfortunately, is going to be ruined by one particular driver, and if you've seen the short, then you know who it is. Let's jump to the race then. Let's have a look exactly what happens, all the drama, and yeah, you'll get a lap guide at the very end as well. Here we are then at the start, starting in P11, and you can see the well-known driver in P4 there, Kimi Velocini. Or more like Moron Valencini. But hey, there we go. We'll get to that at some point in the future in this race. Now, you see how bad that start was? We started P11 there, and people were even further behind than us. We started right in the middle of the chicane there, which was absolutely terrible. So do use traction control if you do need it. We do have a Mercedes behind us as well, and you're going to see the advantage of that Mercedes in just a second as we leave the first corner there. I'm going to head to Rouge and Radion. And in we go up the hill, nice and easy. This is so easy flat, it's untrue. And then behind us, look at what's coming at us. It's a silver machine with nitrous, apparently. Look at it go! Fly on by the Mercedes of Grove Street then as we head towards Lake Home. In we go. Now, this is where obviously the Super GT cars come back into the mix here, and obviously I'm going to try and use that to my advantage, using that downforce where I can. So we bolt through here as quick as we can, and we're going to look down the inside there. We can brake later than those Mercedes. In we go, showing our nose, made the apex quite easily there, and through we go back past Grove Street. Looking down the inside of Max Power then in towards the left there in the Honda. The Honda through here. Max loves the good old MR car, don't you, Max? As we continue on out of there, and we're actually going to... Oh, I can't actually fully head over at Pouon there. Oh, we understeer off there. Sorry, I was just catching my breath. We understeer off, unfortunately. But we come back on. We don't lose any. We actually gain a position after all that. But Pouon is actually flat, as we'll see in the lap guide. Chris accidentally hits Max Power there. Yeah, it's a 0.5 penalty for track limits, I suspect there. They both hit each other again. We're going to take 2 positions there. Happy days indeed. Up into P8 already from P11, I think it was, wasn't it? P11. Through we go and continue on out of there. And what we're going to do, we're going to advance a bit further on in the race where somebody got reset. So we just take that position. And we're catching up to, the Moron and also Fusion and Shelty. But you all got confused. It was called a Moron then, hey? Well, hey! But here we go. Fusion just... Oh! Fusion broke early. And nearly rear-ended Fusion to Narnia there. But we survived. Kimmy getting it all sorts of wrong there as we continue on out here. And again, I'm just going to brake early here. I don't want to get involved. Tries to punch Shelty for unknown reasons. Goes on the inside. And then just pushes me off the track because... Yeah, moron. What can we say? That's all we can say here, really, without getting banned on YouTube. Eiffelman, with being off there for some reason. I have no idea why. And we lose position after position here. Max Power with a huge penalty. That must be a 5-second penalty there for Max Power. I'm not sure what that was for as we continue on here. And, a little bit of a tap there with Sausage. Fusion with a 5-second penalty. What's Fusion got that for? My word. In we go then down the inside, and we look to get it stopped. We do indeed. Kimmy gets reset. Happy days here. Everybody goes super slow through here. Grover, 5-second penalty now. Everyone is getting everything here. There's punts galore. What a race this is turned out to be, and it gets even better here as we head towards turn 1. In we go, and Kimmy absolutely sent it from years back here. Absolutely years back. So yeah, it wouldn't have given me any space there, so I had to just let off and let him go there. Again, because he's a moron. We should have a moron counter, really, shouldn't we? But I won't put that in. We continue on towards Lake Home. Then Sausage looking down the inside here into the braking zone. We go. I'm going to try and hang it around the outside. A little bit of tap there as we continue on through. Looks like we're going to get that position back. All good. We continue on through here, keeping P7 for now. Advancing further on in the race, where Grove takes that penalty, and we're back into our favourite position with Shelty ahead of us. Probably also our favourite position, being behind Shelty. As we continue on through here, and we're going to head towards the chicane then. Looking down the inside of Shelty, in towards the braking zone we go, and I actually got a little bit deep here. Shelty, I think, maybe saw this. There would have been just enough room for Shelty there, but arguably if I'd have touched Shelty there, I would have given that back because it was a little bit deep, but Shelty had already... braked early and gone for the cutback. Avoiding action, I'm not sure. As Shelty now looking down the inside as we head towards turn 1 and we get it stopped then. So Kimmy's up ahead. I was a bit frustrated in this race as well. A bit raging from what Kimmy did earlier on. I've got to be honest. Through we go then. And on the Kemmel straight, Shelty's going to look down the inside here in that Lexus. And looking like Shelty is further along than Sausage here. And it, yeah, indeed was. I couldn't go on the outside at that point. Shelty retakes that position then as we continue on through Lake Home then through the right-hander. I'm going to head down towards the long right-hander here. Back in our favourite position, of course. And looks like Kimmy doesn't want to punt Spaniards. So if you're Spanish, you may be safe. You may be safe. So well played to you folks. If you're Spanish, you may survive a Kimmy encounter. But hey, who knows? I have no idea. I have no idea what goes through that driver's mind, to be honest with you. It's just, I don't, yeah. Anyway, in towards the left we go here. Just have to brake a little bit in dirty air. Oh, Kimmy's got it all sorts wrong. Off. Going to have dirt on his tyres here. Goes to take out Shelty. Of course he does. That's why I absolutely send it here down the inside. And probably a bit too much there. Really bad driving from my part, to be fair, representing TCR. So I do apologise for that, but I knew what was coming. I knew the dirty air was there, and I knew look, literally, he was always going to punt me there because, yeah, it just always was. Well, that's not the end of it. Of course, it's not the end of it. This is the race, of course. So we come back on the track. We've got cars off to the right, cars off to the left. We've got Kimmy just absolutely destroyed everyone's race here. Punting somebody else off. I think that's Fusion off as we go through the left-hander. Now, don't make sure he doesn't have any rim. Kimmy spins and we still beat you. We still beat you, you moron. You are a moron, an A-star moron. And, oh, your SR goes to F and your DR goes to F because you are a giant F. But yeah, we beat Kimmy. But otherwise than that, it's quite a good race, to be honest with you. Mercedes actually won there in Hodgson. You can check out Hodgson on YouTube as well. Right, let's go to a lap guide then. Now, let me tell you how to actually do this race. You're going to head towards turn 1 here. And the 100-meter board is your brake mark here. You're braking just after that passes the edge of your screen, okay, on the left-hand side. So as that leaves the screen, hit the brakes and drop down to first gear. You may want to shift to second gear if you struggle with the grip and getting some power oversteer there. It's just a bit slower. First gear is definitely a little bit better. Oh, we're ready on. Easy flat. Look at this. Nice and easy. All the way up we go. And I'm going to continue down the Kemmel Straight, where we're going to head towards Lake Home. Now, you're looking for our usual brake mark here, the curb there on the left-hand side, the start of the curb there. Hit the brakes and slow the car down. Now, if you brake a bit late here, you're going to start to lose the grip. That's what I found anyway. You may not experience that, but I definitely did. Use the curb on the inside, third gear, over to the left-hand side, keep it in third gear, a little lift off, and then bolt through here. And the downforce should keep you going here and continue on down towards this right-hander, where we're also going to use the start of the curb again here. And you can be quite aggressive, actually, in this braking zone because for some reason the cars brake really nicely down here. I don't know why, it just does. So in we go, and we're just going to go around here. That last little cone there on the right can be your accelerating marker if you want to use it. Over towards the right hand side then. Now, another flag indicator isn't there in time trial. However, the two barriers connecting are. If you get used to where that position is, you can use that as a bit of a brake and turn in marker. Again, be very aggressive here. Let the downforce do the work as we continue on towards Pouhon then. Now, Pouhon, once again, you've got the flag indicator on the right-hand side there. However, you can also use the end of the barrier on the left-hand side. They're both at the same point. Now, in time trial, this is a little lift. There's no braking involved. A little lift, turn in. As you see there, little lift, and then we continue on through, and it works out a charm. You can really fly through that corner now. Really, really, really fly. As we head towards the long chicane here. And you're going to brake just before the start of the curb here. You're carrying so much speed because you lifted for Pouhon rather than braked. You're carrying so much speed. You're going to have to brake a bit earlier than normal here. So just before the start of the curb there. And you're going to see I just go a little bit deep there because I brake at the curb. So through the left we go. Slight lift, clip the curb and bolt out of here. Be careful of the slippy stuff on the right-hand side. Now, the start of the curb is your brake marker, but you're braking a bit before that, okay? Like 10, 15, 20 meters before that. And you want to slow the car down second gear, even with the engine braking here, and then up to third to avoid any oversteer there. Continue on out, then it's all flat, all the way to the chicane. This is nice and easy here as we continue on. Blanchimont, easy flat, no worries here at all. You can turn for days as we head towards the chicane then. Now, you pass the 150 meter board and you're looking for that 100 meter board on the left-hand side on the fence. That's very close to your brake marker, okay? You can use the one in front of you as well if you want to judge it, or even use the 150, but I was using that here to slow the car down. VDP is the first part of the chicane, and then going through here, I short shift to second to really avoid that power oversteer, and then continue towards the line. And that is a lap of Spa. It's Super GT. Let's head to Race C. Welcome to, I think it's Switzerland, but don't quote me on that, as we are at Deep Forest, but we're doing this one in reverse, because why not do a track in reverse? It's all good. We should do some of the real tracks in reverse. How interesting would that be? Hey, I don't know. Maybe we could try it in the future. Anyway, let's stick to this race then. A Deep Forest Group 3. What else are we doing? Well, 14 laps. It's a rolling start, which is pretty okay to me. Mediums and hards both are required. ×2 fuel, ×7 tyre wear, and of course the BOP is on. Now, the problem choice here is that MR cars struggle with a hairpin. So if you struggle with the MR cars when they're going really slowly, like they do at Spa as well, in terms of the chicane, then I'd avoid the MR cars and pick an FR car, which means front engines, rear wheel drive. I chose the Z4, which is a very good car, by the way. This is so underestimated, this car. That's why I did beat the meta. Check that out at the end of this video, because I didn't realize how good it was until I did beat the meta. Anyway, let's jump to the race then. We're not doing beat the meta here. We're doing an actual race, and let's see exactly what happens. Here we are then at the start of the race. A mixture of cars here. Not a lot of people know what's going to be the meta. Now, the Ford GT is the strongest in time trial, or set to be. However, as I said, the Z4 is pretty good, and that's why I'm in the Z4. So let's kick off this start here. Let's fast forward this bit. Long straight. Going to be lots of slipstream in here towards turn 1 as we enter the braking zone. Now, you've got a lot of MR cars in front of you here. You've got the Porsche, you've got the McLaren there. You see that oversteer straight away from Max Power, but imagine to squeeze through a gap that I didn't know even existed there. What on earth, Max? That was really, really awesome, that was amazing. Actually amazing. I'm baffled by that one. Anyway, we continue on through the tunnel and heading towards the sharp right-hander. We've got a Porsche of Smitty Andy on the right-hand side as we go into the braking zone. Now, you don't know who's starting on hard here or who's on mediums. And of course, being at the start of the race, everybody is absolutely everywhere in terms of understanding where they are, where they fit in terms of their position at this moment in time. Andy down the inside of Sparky, a bit of a push there on Sparky, just sends them out a little bit here. We go around the outside, or inside, sorry, of Sparky, as they are stuck on the outside. That's what I was trying to say here. As we continue on to lap 2 then. Now, the intersection of this circuit, very hard to overtake on. It's very much this part here where a lot of overtaking can happen. Oh, we got Z4 off into the barrier there of Sergey, as we go through here. We've got 2 Porsches side by side then. Oh, Smitty Andy catches it then. We're going to go down the inside. It's where FR cars are going to dominate here. Look, you see that slight oversteer again from that weight shift. A really weird bug, I would say, in Gran Turismo, in the fact that it's so dominant with weight transfer, the game, that stuff like that where it's low speed, no downforce, the weight just causes all sorts with the car. You can really see the problem with weight transfer in the game. Oh, Max Power set into the wall there by Set Capitan. I don't know how I said it that way. Going Pirates of the Caribbean here. But it's actually Set Captain there. But I think that was just a mistake between the two of them. Through the left we go. Brilliant defense there from Set Captain there, actually. Brilliant defense. Beautiful racing there from you as we continue on through. Bit of understeer there from the front, washing out, being right behind that Porsche. In towards the braking zone we go. And again, I have no idea who's on mediums and who's on hards here. Now, I would actually say the gap between the 2 tyres in this particular race isn't as big as you realise, okay? So people, you know, got Womble going in there, trying to manage the strategy and tyres, okay? And a lot of people are going to do that. Now, I would say the strategy for this race is to get out of traffic. You can manage the tyres and get to the end in most cars with, 3 laps hard and the rest being mediums. But obviously, the overlap is so close together, it's actually better to avoid the traffic than worry about... Oh, look at Max Power's reactions! Oh, what reactions from Max Power there. And good save by Set Captain there as well. Let me get back to the strategy. You know, there's a lot there where you can say, okay, I'm going to come in 1 lap earlier because I don't want to get out of the traffic. Like here, for example, and catch up to Bahamas here. Bahamas had a penalty there. And we're doing 128s at the moment where we should be in the 126s in terms of our race pace. We can actually do a 125 on hard tyres as well. Oh, Phantom Hank into the barrier we go. Bahamas defends that as well. Max Power gets 2 for 1, 3 for 1 actually there. Gets 3 of us then as we continue on through. And again, I'm still trying to work out who's on what here. I still don't know tyre-wise. I'm pretty sure Bahamas is on the medium tyres because they do go away from me very quickly and they can outbrake me in a lot of the corners, which would suggest that slight tap between the 2 there. As we continue on, we've got Rowdy Birds on the right. We're going to go down the middle. Oh yes, it's a Moses maneuver. Look at this. Beautiful stuff here. We get that position. Up into P5 we go. I'll take that. See, now we're in free air, I can actually go for it. So we're doing the 128s there. 128.5, you can see that on the right-hand side. We're actually purple here on the hard tyre as we head towards the right-hander. We're going to defend here down the inside. Make sure we keep this position. And we do indeed. So we're on 128.5s at the moment. Okay, we're going to have a look at the lap times a bit later on because we are going to defend this and continue on through. Okay, and we're in the 126s. You can see that. And we're actually up on this time as well on this lap. But we're coming to pit on lap 6. We should have stayed out, to be honest with you, and kept that time up because we've unfortunately come out behind the Turkish driver, which is going to slow us down that little bit more. Even though it's some good racing, I have no problem with Navi at all here. As we look down the inside, oh, very scary move. Now, oh, they saw it as well. Beautiful racing there from Nav, not Navi. Nav, apologies for that one, as we head into the braking zone in their Subaru WRX. So yes, I came out in traffic, so unfortunately lost a bit of time. Max Power pit 2 laps earlier, 1 lap earlier, something like that. And again, they didn't gain that much because the overlap is so close. The medium is faster. It's probably about a second, maybe 0.8 of a second faster at Deep Forest, but there's so much acceleration here, it's a lot smaller. And that's good when the gap's like that because it means strategy really plays a part here as we go past that Subaru driver in towards the left-hander we go. And then the braking zone, slowing the car down. I actually want to use this oversteer in the Z4 to my advantage as we piece it out there. Oh, a bit too much oversteer. We don't want that much oversteer as we continue towards Ransom. Hank now in towards the braking zone we go. Now, I know they're on the medium tyres. Anybody ahead of me now who hasn't stopped or on the medium tyres trying to make it last. But in reality, if you're struggling a little bit, maybe you should change tyres. I'm not too sure. You get a good run there. Oh, Ransom Hank out the corner. Bahamas goes towards that left. And then back towards the right. I can't really go anywhere, so it's time for a bump draft there. Maybe I could have gone down the middle. Phantom did move over a little bit there to give me space, but it's been very difficult here. Very, very difficult as we head down towards the right-hander then. And in we go. Slight contact between the 2 there. Bahamas just release the brakes and then brakes again. Just a little bit too much. We're actually going to go briefly 4 wide there. Back to 3 wide. Back to 2 wide here as we go through the right-hander here. Just giving Franson Hank just enough space there. And we're back up into P6. So it's a brilliant racing here. I absolutely enjoyed this race to the brim. It was beautiful racing. The strategy, this racing. This is the daily race C we all want, okay? We all want this. No obvious meta car here. You can pick different cars and it should be fine as well. So you head into the brake zone then. Max Power trying around the outside here. Got to give space to Max Power. And Max Power in the Porsche. Looking to get this done round the outside. And does. Look at that. Yeah, Max Power, you've just shown I am washed. I'll see you later, okay, folks? I'm gone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. No, I'm joking. Brilliant move there from Max Power. Absolutely fantastic stuff. But we're in the slipstream here. The Z4 got a good power, good acceleration, and we're going to look down the inside. Now, if you're in an MR car, doing this move is very deadly, okay? So you are going to have to be careful as we go into the braking zone then. And once again, down the inside we go. And Max Power going for that good cutback you can do. Oh, a bit too much oversteer again. Come on, get some grip. Go, 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 go. As the Porsche accelerates out then. And Max Power just getting ahead of me again here. So keeping that position for now. I mean, we're having a bit of a ding-dong here. We could work together, but I preferred this race. It was so much more to have some fun with Max Power. I know I can have a good race with Max as well. There's Max Power looking. Oh, gonna stay behind Max Power for now. So again, in the midsection, this is where I wouldn't really go for overtakes. I know you saw me too wide before, but it's better to go for overtakes into turn 1 or into the second turn, or technically the end of the second straight, should I say, as we head into the braking zone. So I'm going to do what Max Power did earlier on. Go for that cut back here if we can. And Max Power now getting the same issue I had because they turned a bit sharp here. And here we go. We have the run on the Porsche driver. We're going to go towards that right-hand side then. You're going to see the power of this Z4. I'm amazed by this car. I'm amazed more people are not using this car. It is so good. So good as we head down towards the right hand. It's basically a Porsche in FR form, I find. Anyway, in towards the braking zone we go. We get it stopped. We go through that corner. Oh, we're ahead of Max Power this time. Through the right we go. We have a bit fresher tyres as well. And you can see we're in those 26s. Remember, on hard tyres, we're in that same lap time and we're racing here. So again, traffic management is the key here. Traffic management very much the key, rather than thinking, oh, it's faster to just be on mediums for longer. Not necessarily the case if you're in traffic. So do keep that in mind as we come to the final lap then. We got Shelty on the hard tyre now. Shelty stayed out on the mediums for a very long time here. And we have a run on the Beetle. Once again, Shelty ahead of me. The favourite position, so I can attack Shelty. Come on, Shelty! Where are you going here? You go towards the right. I'm going to go towards that left-hand side then. We've got a side-by-side action here between the two cars as we head down here towards the braking zone. We go. And slowing it down through the right we go, side by side still. And we get a big old boot of power and get past Shelty. You can see on the right as well, we've got 25.6 there. I reckon a low 25, even 24 is maybe possible. And I say 25s on hards are possible as well. But we're going to finish the race there in P3. And this is one of my favourite daily races in quite some time. I love this race. Far better than daily race last week, in my opinion. This race, you're going to have some fantastic races. Let me tell you how to do Deep Forest in reverse now. So you're going to head up the hill. And what you're going to look for first is not a braking zone, but a turn-in marker there. The orange barrier on the right-hand side, okay? When you see that, turn in. Because you can't see the curb, it's a very good apex. So you go, turn in. Okay, I know where I'm going here. You might want to lift a little bit if you want to. And then you're going to brake just before the 100-meter board, okay? You have to brake early here. If you brake too late, you're going to go really deep. You could get a good cut back potentially, but it starts getting a bit iffy. And obviously, if you're racing people, yeah, really iffy here. So you see, I get in here. I'm looking for a bit of oversteer, which I don't actually get on this particular lap, unfortunately. You can get a bit of oversteer and just slide the car through. And again, MR cars are really going to struggle in that hairpin. I'm going to head down towards the right-hander then. And on the left-hand side, you've got the start of the curb here, right? And that's your braking marker. I'm doing this on medium tyres, of course. I do it on the softest compound available for the race. So on the left-hand side there, you're going to brake at the start of the curb. Clip the curb on the inside, bolt it out towards the left-hand side where it does go to concrete briefly. Turn in a late apex here. You want a late apex. When I clip the curb very late here, straight line this part, get over towards the right-hand side, and again, straight line the braking here. Technically, it's the start of the tunnel, but just in case you needed a brake marker, a nice blue sign there on the right-hand side. But you're going to straight line the braking now all the way to the next apex, essentially, okay? Like so there. Keep it tight here, and then accelerate through the corner, over towards the right-hand side, and just before the tunnel exit here, you're going to brake again and turn in. You want to use the camber on the corner, okay? So get really tight on the inside. Really helps the car get through the corner quicker and better and nicer, okay? Through the right we go there. Continue on out. Slight lift here over towards the right-hand side. Now, you can do this flat. It's how much risk you want to take there. You can do it flat in some cars. Others, you might want to lift a little bit there. It's a very risky corner, but you can do it flat. And in towards the last corner we go then. The 50 board is as late as you want to brake here. Remember, you're downhill as well, so the braking is longer, of course. Now, you want a later apex, and what you can use here as well as an accelerating marker is that there, the orange barriers, okay, protecting the marshals. Use that as your accelerating marker. Now, some cars will want to understeer quite hard here, so just be careful, but as long as you're hitting a later apex, you should make it out fine. There's a lap of Deep Forest in reverse. I hope you enjoy the racing, but now it's time for the bloopers. Of course, the blooper is going to be for Kimi. Now, we're going to look at this first one where he brakes checked. Actual brake check. I have no idea why, but brake checks Chelsea, which is why I suddenly overtook Fusion just randomly out the blue on the left-hand side. Well, that put me in this situation, unfortunately, where Kimi is going to... well, it was lagged there. Didn't try and take out Shelty there, so apologies for that earlier on. But it does take out me there. Just shoves me off for whatever reason. And then shoves Shelty off anyway because, you know, Kimi thinks is above the law in the grand scheme of it. Anyway, Grove Street is going to come along here, so I just wondered why Kimi got reset. There's a slight tap there. I think that would be netcode more than anything, but then it turned out to be a punt at the very end there. And you know what? I'm not even sorry for Kimi. You know, for anybody else, I'd be like, why are you revenge punting? But at this point, I'm just like, when you see the rest of this, you'll just be like, what? Kimi launched it down at the inside here. Now, this is actually quite a good move, to be fair, because he actually made the apex. Just wasn't going to give room on the exit, was he? But it was good. You know, the first part of the move was actually quite good there, Kimi. You know, fair play to you. This was down the inside. Now, I actually would have made this far better than I thought I did when I was checking out the replay. The reason I went so far to the left at the end of that was because of the contact when Kimi turned in. It was a bit deep, and I would have missed it, but then obviously Kimi punts me. Let's have a little full look from Kimi's perspective then. So down the left into Puon we go. Gets on the slip stuff, goes for a spin. Ha! As we continue on out. I am a child, I know. Tries to punch Chelsea off there. Of course he does. Coming into here. So you can see, actually, yeah, I'd have made the corner quite easy, and Kimi would have had space, but there's a slight tap there because Kimi turns in expecting me not to exist. But it was a late lunge. I'll give him that. But then he obviously goes for the revenge punt. I knew what was coming there instantly. Slight tap from behind, but fortunately, Kimi gets a 4-second penalty for that punt. As we go through the right here. Going to slow it down here. Then it's going to continue on here. Going to try and take out Grove Street here as Grove Street goes by. Watch this. Straight towards the right. But Grove Street survives there. Well played. And then Kimi's going to take out everybody else. Naduk, Jindra, just takes out everybody. Now, how this person is not permabanned yet, I do not know. But Fusion then obviously trying to get... Everybody just hates the guy. I mean, how can you ostracize yourself so much? Which means obviously make yourself so isolated. I don't know, but Kimi wants to do that apparently. So I'll say I don't feel sorry for Kimi, and that is going to be it for the bloopers. So I'm going to report Kimi. You will see a report going in. But as I say, that is it for this video. If you did like it, do get a like. Subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. We're going to review that whole race in full in a separate video. 2 videos to check out there. But that is it for me. Thanks once again for watching. I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.